Exploring peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. From classic to innovative, ranked for your taste.
PB&J, 3 letters with no apparent meaning, but we've all tried one as long as you're an American. And I'm curious, what is the worst PB&J? What is the best? What is the deepest, darkest valley? What is the absolute zenith? There's only one way to find out, and that's to make 10 levels of PB&J. I suppose I don't have to make 10. I'm being told I have to make 10. This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. They've supported this channel for over 7 years. In fact, they were my first ever sponsor. Squarespace is the perfect platform to create your own site and accomplish your goals online. Whether you're building a digital empire or just want people to give you hilarious episode ideas, Squarespace has you covered. I'm having a lot of fun making food ranking videos, and my favorite part is seeing what you guys suggest. So I built a site where you can submit your episode ideas. Go to rankedwithbabish.com and submit yours, and coming soon, you can see all my ranked lists. Squarespace's brand new designer templates make it so easy to set up exactly what you need. To create one of your own, head to squarespace.com for a free trial and use code Babish for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
How do you respond to the people that say calling this one a PB&J is getting too loose with your definitions?
Well, to them I say, go literally f yourself to death, because I need a level 1. I need the absolute worst expression of a PB&J, and I'm very sorry that I said that you should f yourself to death. It's rude. What is the very lowest expression of peanut butter and jelly? Well, it's right here in my pocket. Don't worry, it's not Uncrustables. It is a healthy, certified vegan, plant protein, venture capitalist funded energy bar, health food object. It has a picture of a rather sumptuous peanut butter and jelly right there on the package. This is what I imagine peanut butter and jelly will be like 50 years in the future. No shade to True Bar, by the way. I actually like their products. As far as a peanut butter and jelly experience goes, it's going to stray the furthest from God. It's covered in a icing, I guess, question mark. I don't know if there's any semblance of peanut butter or jelly in this thing. There is not. There's maybe a peanut butter colored vegetable protein paste cellulose. There isn't even a hint of a semblance of a memory of jelly or jam in this. There are no ingredients to indicate an imitation of jam. I think this is just peanut butter, and I wonder if they just were like, people will probably try it if it's called peanut butter and jelly. Get in my belly, PB and jelly. We don't actually have to put jelly in there. They're not going to check. Some YouTuber asshole isn't going to check. But I got you. It does not taste bad for only having 7 grams of sugar. It's good plant protein, yada, yada. I have these for breakfast, so no shade to True Bar. That is not peanut butter and jelly. There's nothing about this other than peanut flavor and peanuts that bears a shadow of a resemblance to PB&J. So yeah, I think we found our level 1 PB&J. PB&J in name only.
Level 2 is my favorite. Is that a moral failing?
Absolutely not. Bad taste is not a moral failing. Nor is bad taste a failing.
But it's bad?
A delicious paradox. Peanut butter and jelly is a famously 3-ingredient sandwich, but fittingly for level 2, it's going to be a 2-ingredient sandwich. For me, Wonder Bread is, kind of the childhood standard choice for peanut butter and jelly. It's extremely soft. The jelly will soak through it in about 3 seconds flat. And if you have natural peanut butter out of the fridge, good luck. Good luck. You're not going to have any bread left. It's not going to survive the spreading process. Then for peanut butter and jelly, we have Goober, one of my least favorite products in existence. It's disgusting. The peanuts taste rancid, and the jelly doesn't taste like much of anything. You have no control over the jelly content. Isn't that what everyone gives the biggest f*** about with PB&J? Is the peanut butter and jelly ratio, the amount of it, whether you like a thin sort of swipe or a big mountain of the stuff? Who wants to surrender that much control? Who wants to let a nanny state peanut butter jelly jar tell them how much peanut butter and how much jelly they can have? This is a matter of civil liberty. I don't take a hard line on many things. Most things, like pineapple on pizza, whatever, I say live your life, enjoy yourself. But this stuff, you're wrong. This is a stiff peanut butter, so Wonder Bread is having a hard time keeping up. Level 2 PB&J, happy? You can see anywhere that the jelly's touching, you can see it's already like soaking through. There's a little tear here. The nicest thing I can say about this is that it's acceptable. If there was anything else to eat, I'd eat that. Because not only is the peanut butter, does it taste kind of rancid, it's over roasted. God, there's a progression that leans into like, what is that? Like sesame territory or something? And frankly, there's not enough jelly. You can see that it's in there, it's represented, but it's not being heard. You know, it's being given a seat at the table, but not being allowed to talk. Yeah, and the Wonder Bread, it is fine for a quick snack, but you need really smooth peanut butter, really soft, easy to spread peanut butter, and you need to really mix up your jam, because if there's any rigidity to your jelly, you're going to destroy the bread. Level 3, and once again, it fits in my front pocket. Can you guess what it is? That's right. It's an Uncrustable.
Is this the cutest form of PB&J?
Yes, next question.
Oh, okay.
Shh. Picturing Uncrustables. So kawaii. Do you know what it is? I don't know what to tell you. It's basically just a peanut butter and jelly with the crust cut off and crimped around the edges, sold frozen and thawed before eating. A childhood favorite. Usually these come slam jammed with peanut butter and jelly. So let's see if, it's as loaded as I remember it being. Not nearly. As you can see, they do follow that guideline of insulating the bread using peanut butter. They definitely have peanut butter on both sides so as to keep the jelly contained and the bread intact. And this is pretty much as awesome as I remember it being. It's a little light on the jelly. I remember it being like packed, but I might have just been a child. The slightly chewy edge, I think we all love, taking sandwich bread and compressing it into a little knot and eating that and chewing it. It's all chewy and doughy, whether we know it or not. I think all of us like that. It's got a decent amount of jelly in it, a decent amount of peanut butter. It's just a lovely little snack. Super enjoyable to eat. Yep, that is a level 3 PB&J. But there's more. On to level 4. Level 4, possibly the best level. The 3-ingredient classic. Hearty white bread, high-quality peanut butter, and grape jam instead of jelly. What's the difference between jam and jelly? Glad you asked. Jam has stuff like fruit particulate in it. Jelly is just basically sugar juice. You can kind of tell the quality of your sandwich bread by its width. Wonder Bread is very square. You can see that the crumb is very open and loose. It is not super, structurally integrous. Whereas a higher quality sandwich bread, you can see it's got a much denser crumb that's going to translate to a much denser kind of chew as you bite through it. It's going to absorb less jelly. It's going to keep its shape longer. It's going to feel better and taste better. It's a worthwhile upgrade all around. Wonder Bread has its place, but I can't think of many arenas in which this wouldn't dance circles around it. I don't know what arena you dance in. We have our hearty sandwich bread here. Let's just do this old-fashioned style. Let's not do any fancy trickery. Let's just do a good old-fashioned peanut butter on one side, jam on the other. No wizardry or witchcraft. I'm gonna let those kind of meld for a moment, You don't just dig straight into a peanut butter and jelly. No. You let those flavors get to know each other, okay? The jelly might actually be better for like holding things together, but I'm not dripping out the back. Nobody wants that. But you'd be hard pressed to do better. It's just peanut butter and jam in this case, but magic. I'm trying to describe a perfect peanut butter and jelly to you. But you've had one. That's the magic of this episode, is that you've had one. You've had maybe the best expression. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to pull every trick out of my trick box to try and make something better than this. But I'm willing to bet that, not unlike the classic Helen Hunt, Jack Nicholson film, this is as good as it gets.
Is it fair to say this isn't a level of PB&J as much as it is a deviation into a taste test?
I don't think that's very fair at all. I worked very hard on this level. I'm very proud of this level, and I did a very good job with this level. So no, I don't think that whatsoever.
Well, I'm sorry I said anything.
I am too. I have here before me a smattering of relatively widely available jams and jellies, and I'm going to taste each and every one of them with a little bit of peanut butter. And I'm going to tell you, beyond all recourse or question, which of these tastes best with peanut butter. That was too absolutist. Let's try again. And I'm going to tell you which one I personally think tastes the best with peanut butter. Now, as for the PB of that PB&J, there can be only one, Skippy. Choosy moms choose Jif, but everybody else chooses Skippy. And I don't even choose Skippy. Skippy chooses me. First up, Concord grape peanut butter. This is going to be my system. 2 popsicle sticks. What can be said about grape jelly and peanut butter that hasn't been said already? It is an inimitable classic. There's no denying it. There might be no improving upon it. Only one way to find out. Another mainstay, and I'm liking the look of this. This looks like a really thick but uniform jam, and that is important to me. I don't like big hunks of fruit in my PB&J. That is the one thing I will exclude from this. If there's big hunks of fruit in there, I'm not gonna go in there. Straight away, I think I might. I think that's better than grape. I think that flavor sparkles more. Never thought I was a strawberry jam guy, but here I am professing it to be better. Next up, blueberry. I don't know why, but to me it sounds elitist. It's really good, but boy does it taste gourmet. You know, tastes like the PB&J that they would serve at a very elite golf club. I don't know. It feels above me. Feels like it thinks it's above me. Raspberry. Now this is where I think we might have something that is different enough to not make a question mark appear above my head when I take a bite. Ooh. Oh, they play so nice though. Way tartar than the other stuff. Less sweet. Has texture to it, but not gross, mushy fruit textures, just seeds. So it's got a nice little crunch to it. I love that. It's not fair because I love raspberries so much. Like raspberry and chocolate is one of my peak flavor combos. I love raspberry and chocolate. Like this is doing things for me personally that it might not for you. This one's going to be my top pick so far with an asterisk that it's very specifically my top pick. So now I have a sour cherry spread. Nope. Nah. Marmalade and peanut butter. Don't have very high hopes for this one. Picturing dipping an orange in peanut butter makes me want to die. Weird. It demolished the taste. I couldn't taste the peanut butter. Definitely not the move for me. Do not like that one bit. This one I'm kind of excited about. Apple preserves. That's kind of disappointing. It's not bad. I was kind of expecting an apple dipped in peanut butter vibe, and it is, but that's so far from the spirit of a PB&J. There's not enough acid. It's very sweet. I think you need a good acidic, fruity, sharp punch to really make a good PB&J. So sad as it makes me to say, this is not it. Next up, fig preserves. I'm pretty curious about this, or at least I was until that apple debacle. Yeah. Too sweet. It also is not a strong enough flavor. Fig is a lovely flavor that gets completely lost underneath the peanut butter. Black currant. I managed to get my hands on some black currant. This is Genesis for PB&J. That tastes 125 years old, is what that tastes like. Solid hunks of fruit. That makes for a rather unpleasant texture in a sandwich, and it is also just a very simple, almost earthy berry flavor. Apricot. I'm actually feeling curious about this one. Yeah, it's got the sharpness, but I don't think it has an assertive, or dare I say it, different enough flavor from peanut butter. It's not like it gets lost under the peanut butter. It just plays too nicely with the peanut butter. Raspberry is so different from peanut butter. Grape is so different from peanut butter, and I think you need that stark contrast. In color, too. It's not going to be a very good-looking sandwich, is it? Pineapple preserves. This is interesting. I wonder if anybody's ever tried to combine pineapple and peanut butter. Doesn't sound right, doesn't look right. I bet it's not going to taste right. Yeah, no. Here we go, folks. Things just got interesting. Peanut butter and hot pepper jelly. No fruit involved unless we're talking about peppers, which are fruits. Wow, that is not very flavorful. Spicy, though. You know, I think I like the spice. It's making me wonder if peanut butter and jelly would benefit from spice. Something to consider in future levels. But then there was hot pepper cranberry jelly. It looks awful because it's got the seeds in it. Kind of looks like it has mold colonies growing or something. Definitely not that. Cranberry already kind of leans savory in my mind because of, well, Thanksgiving. and salads and stuff. So to have it with peppers, especially, like you could put this on a burger. You wouldn't want to, but it would probably taste better than it does with peanut butter. Now for what I'm actually kind of optimistic about, mango habanero pepper jelly. So it's going to be righteously spicy. So we'll see, like, you know, is that really welcome? And mango and peanut butter? I don't know. Okay. Okay. You could have told me that was just habanero jelly, and I believe you. That's all it tastes like. There's a fruity ghost haunting it. It's not part of the show. That really just tastes like habanero. It was too spicy. A little spice. I think a little spice in PB&J would be nice, but not like that. Next up, guava preserves. Comes off as one of those like willfully strange flavor combinations that are good, but it's challenging. It's not easy. I'm tasting one then the other. They taste like they're two bands playing at the same time. They're playing separately but together and not in a harmonious way. So I don't think this is going to be it. Lastly, lingonberry. I don't even know what lingonberry is. Presumably it's made from lingonberries. Yeah. Nope. Save it for the IKEA. Save it for the meatballs. Don't waste it on your PB&J. So the best jam or jelly for PB&J is the one that you like the most, because I think it's going to really come down to your preferences. Mine are raspberry preserves. Nice, thick, tart, full of seeds. Love it. Let's take a look at that cross section. Oh, you just can't beat it. Yes. It's lighting up all different pleasure centers in my brain that I forgot were there. I thought they were dead. I like the little addition of texture. I love raspberry seeds. I'm a freak like that. And I love the way it plays with peanut butter. It is righteously tart. It's perfect. The point of this level was to see if we could level up PB&J with a rogue jam. Like, what kind of crazy jam that we'd never expect makes a superior PB&J. Turns out a relatively familiar one is the key for me, red raspberry.
So, I'm 35 and don't really understand TikTok. Is this sandwich not for me?
That depends. Are you bussin'?
I have no idea what that means.
Are you bussin' right now?
You know, every Sunday morning, the neighborhood children skateboard to my house and they rap upon my front door and they say, Mr. Babish, won't you please make us a PB&J with a little pizzazz? Now, of course, this has never happened, nor would I ever really want it to, because I have particular childhood traumas that make it very hard for me to access childlike joy or interact with kids in general. But if it did, this is what I would make.
Let's make some main character glow up PB&J. Not making your own PB? That's chuggy. This little glizzy went to market. Jelly's low-key iPad kid beige flag behavior. Jam only. Juice of one lem. Bussin'. Let's give it a taste. I'm not trying to glaze, but goated. Sourdough bread, more like Sigma dough. A little bit of looks maxing. Then to make this CEO level, you know I gotta toast it. French toast it. Big yikes. Maple syrup. Big bowl status. Bruh. Low key, it's giving high key Skibbity Riz vibes. On God.
So, what are the ingredients of PB&J?
Well, there's peanut butter and jelly.
Makes sense. And what goes into this sandwich?
Well, there's peanut butter and of course, there's jelly. And there's a little bit of bacon.
Aha! So it's not a PB&J.
Man, be cool, all right? It's a PB&J.
I'm just trying to give people the truth.
I just want to hit 10 levels of PB&J. Just let me do my job. Level 7. And you might be asking yourself, what happened to that charming mic that he wears on his face? Well, so now I've got a lav for the rest of this episode. Now for level 7, I'm stepping outside the bounds of normality and social acceptability. Any discussion about 10 levels of PB&J would be incomplete without the Fool's Gold sandwich. This is a sandwich discovered by Elvis Presley, purportedly his favorite. Sounds like a pretty good PB&J to me. Let's whip one up. So I've got this Italian loaf here. Now this loaf does have sesame seeds on it because it's the only one that I could find that was the right size and form factor. So first thing we gotta do is brush this sucker down with butter. So now I'm gonna toast this guy until he's golden brown. Well, isn't that nice? A freshly toasted loaf of Italian bread. So now we're going to carefully saw it right open. Loaf opened up. Now I'm gonna scoop out the bread meat. Per the recipe, an entire jar of peanut butter. You know, I'm gonna say it, this is too much. This is too much. I don't think that this should be a thing. Enough peanut butter to kill you, probably. Naturally, on the other side of the sandwich is an entire jar of grape jelly. We gotta turn it sideways so you can get the sense of scale here. And whoever made this was naturally like, that's not enough. It needs a pound of bacon. Whole pound. Close up shop here. God, it's so heavy. That's crazy. How do you close this up? There we go, there we go, there we go. This sandwich weighs 2 pounds, 8 ounces, so 2.5 pounds. It's a little awesome in a little way, and it's pretty awful in a big way. What this is an overstuffed PB&J with a lot of bacon on it. The bacon works very, very well. Very delicious, the bacon. I don't know if it still counts as like a PB&J, if it's got bacon in it, but adds crunch, adds fat, adds flavor, smoke. It's really nice. All that to be said, I mean, look at it. It's questionable, it's form factor. However, what we can take away from this is, let's throw some bacon on that PB&J.
Level 8, I hope you brought your checkbook, because we're spending a lot of money. $64, in fact, for ingredients to make a 3-ingredient sandwich. I have here examples of some of the most expensive peanut butter, jelly, and bread that I could find in New York City, which is saying something. For bread, we have a pain de mie from a local luxury bakery chain called PB&J. This loaf of basically a hybrid brioche Japanese milk bread is $22 before tax and I assume some sort of bread fee. I gotta say, it is a beautiful loaf. Like, it's got a big dip in the center there, but the sides are perfectly flat. It smells crazy. It smells like a mixture of brioche and sourdough and sandwich bread. Ooh, look at that webby, eggy interior. It smells homemade, which actually I don't think of as a good smell from bakery stuff. Like, I don't know, homemade bread has this kind of like, you know how bread from a bread machine smells? That doesn't smell like a bakery. That smells like bread machine bread. And all homemade bread usually has an aspect of that, unless you're making like sourdough. It's a delicious loaf. It has the flavor of normal sandwich bread. It has some of the texture of milk bread, but it's got a little bit more of that like kind of eggy richness of brioche, but like it's primarily milk bread. It's not sweet or rich enough. The crust has a nice crunch to it, which you normally don't get in a sandwich bread. It has an almost burnt characteristic, but it leads caramelly. It's right to the edge of burnt, and that does take an incredible amount of expertise. Credit where credit is due. That's a great loaf. There's no way I'm ever buying another one. Now for the PB&J, I was able to source some PB and some J from 11 Madison Square Park. For those of you who don't know, 11 Madison Square Park is one of the icons of fine dining in the world, and in New York especially. And they offer a couple home products, some sundries on their website. So we have some peach and apricot jam from 11 Madison Home. And then the peanut butter. We have 11 Madison's salted peanut butter. Ingredients: peanuts, Amagansett sea salt, maca root powder, blue agave, and algae oil. It doesn't look separated, but it does look liquidous. It does look quite thin, but not too thin. That looks like it'll still make for a sandwich. Sure, Daniel Hum can make a $350 15-course tasting menu and constantly rock the Michelin stars, going from meat to vegan back again, but can he make peanut butter? God, is that good? Why is this so good? It is super sweet, like in a wonderful way. It's super salty, again, in a wonderful way. It's both peanutty and very rich, very savory, while being sweet. Like
I would have guessed that there was like MSG in this or something. I mean, that's got to be some of the most delicious peanut butter I've ever had. Here. Oh, that's so good. It tastes like fresh peaches and apricots. Like, that is a wonderful flavor pairing. I did not think I was going to be into this. The pair of these before taxes costed $38. This is a $19 jar of jam and a $19 jar of peanut butter. And it's not even that big. It's 8.8 ounces. You're usually getting 14 ounces in a jar of peanut butter. Assuming generously that we're going to get 7 sandwiches out of this lineup here, that means that each sandwich, just ingredients alone, is going to cost $9.30. But I can't wait to try it. Holy shit. Let's go. On one side, our $19 peanut butter. I mean, it's a shame you don't really get much color contrast at all. This is just going to be a very brown sandwich. If it tastes the way I think it's going to, I mean, it could look like a pile of dog shit. Well, maybe I would care. Maybe that would be a bridge too far. No aspect of that works. All you taste is the apricot until it goes away. And then you just taste the peanut butter, which by comparison almost tastes burnt. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, they sold this as a pair probably just to be cute. I don't know if they intended you to eat them together because that is not a good pair. God, each one alone is so good, though. It drives me insane. As we continue to learn, if you just buy the most expensive version of each thing and slap it together, it doesn't necessarily work. This bread would make for incredible French toast if you staled it out and you soaked it, and like this would be incredible French toast. But it's no good as a sandwich. I think it would be better for a savory sandwich. It's just not sweet enough. It's the best peanut butter and the best jam I think I've ever had. But put them together, no good.
Level 9. Exactly how far can I push PB&J and B? It's bread.
I don't know why we don't say it that way. PB&J and B. Okay, I get it. All right, so as we learned from that unruly TikToker, you can make your own peanut butter by just grinding peanuts. But I don't want to just make homemade peanut butter. I want it to be super rich and peanutty. I want it to be nice and deep and toasty. I want it to be as smooth as store-bought peanut butter and as homogenized. I don't want it to split. And I think I have a wacky idea for how to do all that at once. First, the peanuts. I'm going with the finest peanut yet cultivated here in the colonies, the Virginia peanut. It's big, it's crunchy. None of those things matter when you're making peanut butter, but more importantly, it's got a sweet, clean, deeply peanutty taste. Let's go ahead and roast these. What I want to do is to warm them up and have them expel a little bit of their oil. It's going to deepen their flavor, but it's also going to make grinding and stabilizing them easier. Toast them for 5 to 10 minutes. As you can see, didn't pick up much color, but their oils have been expressed like a tween's feelings in a poem about their dark soul. Now, while they're still nice and warm, I'm going to get them into my food processor. Now I'm going to grind these up, but not all the way, because I have another tool with which to grind them even further. Now you're going to see it go through phases here. First, it's going to turn into basically sand, and then into wet sand, and then into slop, and then into peanut butter, sort of. Okay, it's just starting to get to the slop stage, which is right where I want to stop. Normally you want to let this grind for up to 10 minutes if you're looking to make homemade peanut butter in the food processor, but it's never going to get store-bought smooth. For that, we're going to need a concha, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, what we have here are 2 stone wheels that are being held in place while a stone base rotates underneath them. This is able to grind stuff down into the microns. So we're going to get a super smooth peanut butter. Into the concha drum goes the peanut puree. There we go. So one of the ways to stabilize homemade peanut butter is with fat. So I'm going to add fat both to help speed things along and because that is a method for stabilizing homemade peanut butter, adding a fat that is solid at room temperature like vegetable shortening or coconut oil, or butter, in particular, browned butter. Peanut butter with actual butter in it. Shaq will finally be right from that one episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Peanut butter would be considered a dairy product. Am I correct?
Absolutely, butter.
Thank you.
Butter. There's butter in there. What are you kidding?
Okay. Second, brown butter. A sweet, toasty, oaty, milky richness that we're going to be able to add to this, bringing a whole new depth of flavor. What I did here was browned a half a pound of butter. And so what I'm going to do is pour off the top layer. This is basically just clarified butter with extra toastiness. And I'm doing this because I only need like 50 grams of fat. I don't need all this fat. And this can now be used for other stuff. So I have this brown butter. So that's 50 grams of butter to 500 grams ground peanuts, 20 grams of powdered sugar, half teaspoon of sunflower lecithin. Probably not doing things by the books here, but I don't play by the rules. And away she goes for probably 45 minutes. We have what looks to be some extraordinarily smooth peanut butter. Yeah, look at that. Smooth as the day is long. Uh-oh. That's good. The butter makes it like super rich and definitely complements the roasty nature of the peanuts. Brown butter and roasted peanuts. Doesn't that just sound right? Doesn't that just feel right? And it's so smooth. It is just as smooth as Skippy. The only issue is that it's runny, but I think I know how to thicken things up. I learned something interesting on the internet. If you ever have peanut butter that's too runny, add some water. Sounds weird, actually works. The proteins in peanut butter will soak up the water and will make it thicker. Homemade Skippy. Smooth as Skippy, same consistency as Skippy, full of brown butter flavor. Now for the jelly or jam. In my case, jam. I have here 2 quarts of Concord grapes. I'm going with grape jelly both because we're in peak grape season right now and because homemade Concord jam tastes very different from store-bought. It's got a brighter, tangier flavor. So to make jam from Concord grapes, I now need to peel each and every one of these grapes. I've discovered that if you just grab the grape and squeeze them like a pimple, the flesh just pops right out. So instead of 10 years, this might take about 15 minutes. All right, there we go. Bowl of mini eyeballs and bowl of skins. Must be Halloween. Also, I'm very surprised to find that the juice from Concord grapes, at least initially, is not purple. These guys need to be cooked separately. We need to soften the skins so they can be pureed, and we need to soften the flesh so we can sieve out the pits. Both these guys are gonna cook for about 10 minutes. All right, my skins are super soft, so I'm gonna immersion blend them until they're nice and smooth. Over here, now I'm going to press the flesh, so to speak, through this fine mesh sieve. We just want to try to get all the fruit solids through. Oh man, that smells good. What does that smell like? A communion? I'm very curious what this tastes like. Wow. It's so weird to have that distinct Concord grape flavor without the color. That's very interesting. Now we're adding this stuff back to this stuff. Almost looks like applesauce, but it's grape sauce. That to me looks to be about 2 cups worth of fruit solids, which is going to call for an astonishing 2 cups of sugar. There's a lot of sugar in jam. You need it in there, both to set up the jam and because it tastes good. So now we're going to cook the fruit and the sugar together for about 45 minutes to an hour. Definitely a lot of sugar in there, but I want a little bit more acid. That's why I like the raspberry jam so much. So I'm going to have the juice of half a lemon, see how that tastes. Oh, I wish you could taste it. As this guy finishes cooking, I'm going to add about maybe half a teaspoon of vanilla paste. I think that's going to bring a lovely warm dimensionality to it. Oh, that's scrumptious. So I've got one of our lovely non-stick baking trays here. This is going to be perfect for cooling. And there is our homemade vanilla Concord grape jam. Look at the difference in color between store-bought and homemade Concord jam. This is almost brown by comparison. Like this is the most electric, beautiful, royal purple. All right, as you can see, our jam has become wonderfully thick, perfect consistency. It's gonna keep its shape. It's not gonna sploosh out the sides. Let's give it a little taste. Oh my God, I made that? That's so good. The vanilla is just right. Like, it's there, you can detect it. I don't know if you didn't know it was in there. If you could put your finger on what was happening, you'd be like, there's something special. I can't put my finger upon it, but there's something special happening over here. Oh man, that is perfect. So to make our milk bread, first thing we need to do is make a tangzong. We're combining 75 grams of bread flour with 135 grams of whole milk, kind of like lumpy pancake batter. Now we're gonna nuke this for 1 minute and 20 seconds on high power, stirring every 20 seconds until it forms a thick paste. Once that's cooled off, I've got 720 grams of bread flour. Add our tangzong. This is gonna help keep the bread stay softer longer. Now I want to take this tangzong and start breaking it up with our fingers, almost like you would butter in a pie dough. Then we're adding 45 grams of granulated sugar, 7.5 grams of kosher salt, and 7.5 grams or 1 packet of instant yeast. Toss to make sure that it's evenly combined. Then we're adding 405 grams of room temperature whole milk, 90 grams of heavy cream, and 60 grams of HUNNY honey. Mix together until a relatively smooth mass forms, and then one tiny little piece at a time, we're gonna add 45 grams of room temperature unsalted butter, waiting until each piece has been incorporated before adding the next. Then we're gonna knead this thing for another 5 to 10 minutes until it has great gluten development and passes the window pane test. All right, we have this lovely batch of dough here. Just roll it into a nice, smooth, taut ball. Got a big old bowl, which I'm gonna hit with some vegetable oil. Spread it around using a paper towel or a normal towel. If you want to be eco-conscious and want to get lots of vegetable oil in your washing machine, plop this guy in, clamp, cover with plastic wrap. Now we're going to let this guy proof at room temperature for about an hour or until it's grown by about 50 to 75%, not quite doubled in size. As you can see, our loaf has risen by about 50%, and we have total loaf size of 1,560 grams. Now, we need to use that number to divide this into 4 equally sized pieces. Each one should be weighing 390 grams. These 4 balls are going into a heavily buttered Pullman loaf pan. This is a square-sided pan with a covered lid, and they're gonna proof and bake in here. Cover this guy up. And now this guy's gonna proof until those balls have almost filled the pan. All right, let's take a look. It has very nearly filled the box, which means it's ready to bake. 375 for probably about 45 minutes until the thickest point registers 205 degrees Fahrenheit. 45 minutes later, our hot box is coming out the hot box. Let's take a peek. Pushed directly to the edges. Immediately, I'm going to invert and remove this loaf because it will collapse if we leave it in the pan. This freakishly square guy needs to cool so completely before we do anything to it. If this is even slightly warm in the middle, your knife's gonna drag and it's gonna ruin the surface. We want really nice, clean, flat surfaces so we get a great, even toast. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's like a pillow inside, but it's super, that's something that's gonna be important for this one. It's got pretty good structural rigidity. Like this has some give to it. God, I love milk bread. It's sturdy, but your teeth just sink through it. It's like a sturdier brioche. I would use brioche, but brioche is so light and ethereal that after you've taken 4 bites with PB&J, it starts to dissolve, it starts to go away. This is gonna keep its shape, but it's got tremendous richness. Great structure and great flavor. Perfect PB&J bread. The jelly's made, the bread is sliced, peanut butter is whipped. I think it's time to make a sandwich. So I'm gonna toast the bread, but not in the way you might expect. Pretty close though. I'm just going to griddle it on one side in some nice challenge butter, get it nice and crispy, really roasty, lovely flavor. And I'm gonna put the toasted side on the inside of the sandwich. That way we get the soft, yielding, nostalgic sandwich bread on the outside, but the added flavor and crunch from the toasting on the inside. There, ladies and gentlemen, is our level 9 PB&J. Full day's work, pretty much, to make bread, to make jam, to make peanut butter. Let's see if it's worth it. I truly thought we were gonna run into some serious diminishing returns here, just like, oh, well, that's peanut butter and jelly. But you know what? That's something special. That's something next level, if you will. Level 9, if you will. The vanilla of the Concord grape jam and the brown butter, like, this has so much going on in there. Like, those are cookie flavors. You got cookie flavors in the background of your usual PB&J. The bread is the perfect texture. It's sweet, it's yielding, it's got a good chew, good sink to it. Then it's got the crunch on the inside. You got all those nice roasty, toasty flavors. Definitely the best PB&J I've ever had. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. I've had a lot of PB&J, and I'm gonna eat the whole thing, because damn. So then we have to ask ourselves, where do we go from here? What is level 10? And especially when it comes to PB&J, I think level 10s a little different than usual. What is level 10 PB&J? How could we possibly improve upon the form factor any further? I guess more accurately, should we? Because I will assert that the best PB&J on the planet is the one that you make. This might seem like a cop-out, and it is, but it's also true. Something so simple and delicious can only be made better because you made it. You know just how much of the titular ingredients to put to use. Your favorite brand of peanut butter, your favorite kind of bread, your favorite jelly or jam, toasted or untoasted, fancy or fast, cut diagonally, straight, thirds, quarters, or just mashed into a paper bag with an apple and a Capri Sun. I hope this video had some tips and tricks to help you upgrade your next sandwich, but remember, at the end of the day, no one makes PB&J quite like you do.
The way I like it, huh? Can I cover myself in peanut butter?
You certainly can, but I'd thank you to also cover yourself in jelly. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you want to see 10 levels of next time here with Babish.
Thanks again to my long-term partner Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. Be sure to head to rankedwithbabish.com to submit your ideas for what you think I should rank next or who you want to see as a guest. While you're there, admire the smooth template designed by Squarespace. If you feel stuck creating your website, Squarespace can definitely help. In just one click, you can choose from curated color palettes and fonts that can be applied to any template. You can create an entire site in just a few minutes. Their SEO tools help your site reach its audience, and you can use Squarespace to help manage your invoices for commerce or even generate your business name. The tools are all easy to use and at your fingertips. To create a site of your own, head to squarespace.com for a free trial and use code BABISH for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.